Who are you?
My name is Braxton Langston-Chapman. I was born in Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm a current resident of Greensboro, North Carolina, 336. I go to the North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. I'm the graduating class of 2020. I might be in Cat 18, but right now I'm in Cat 20. And I'm Braxton Langston-Chapman. That's me.
I see that you have put out some novellas.
Mhm.
What made you write your novella?
You know, first off, Help Volume 1 is very abstract. And it definitely deals with a lot of social issues and emotional issues. And it didn't start out as a novella. I think that people that know me know that. I think that if you know literature, that you know that it started out as a journal. And from there, it became something that I never would have thought of. And long story short, I've always been a writer. I've always written stuff down. And basically I had 120 pages of my thoughts and my emotions. And people close to me liked it. So November 26th came around and I put it out. I didn't know it was going to do 10,000 copies. I didn't know 10,000 people were going to see it. And it deals with a lot. And it goes back to a bad breakup, honestly. And it's hard to tell because I was going through a lot, and it has to do with a bad breakup and a lack of confidence. I lost all my confidence about a year ago, right now. And the only thing I had to do was write because I internalized a lot. Help Volume 1 was the first time I expressed myself in an antagonizing manner. I didn't think it was going to do what it did, but it did a lot for me. And I'll stress this to the day I die, that I got my confidence back not because it did 10,000 copies, not because people liked it, but it was the first time that I told people how I felt, and even still I did it abstractly, but it was the first time I told people how I felt. And it was like releasing everything, you know what I'm saying? It was like finally taking the weight off my shoulders. So in 112 pages, I basically said, I lost all my confidence. Everything's internalized. I'm heartbroken. There's a lot going on. And no one would have known that. So that's why it was unhealthy that I was internalizing all these feelings. You knowing me, I'm blessed enough to know the person that's interviewing me right now. You know me, and you would never think that I didn't have any confidence 6 months ago. And you never know that I had stage 2 depression, and I take medicine for anxiety. No one knew. And now, I know that it's okay because I know that there's people like me that go through the same thing. And on top of that, me being small-minded, I thought since I'm a black male, I shouldn't feel like this. But fan base-wise, people that email me the most are males that say, yo, I feel this, and I'm so glad someone talked about it. Because it's rare that an author or anyone, any public figure is going to talk about emotional issues that they're going through, especially not from a male. You don't see it. So that's what Help Volume 1 did, and that's what Help Volume 1 was. And then, a week after I released it, I had to say, whoa, yes, it was free, but I did 10,000 copies. 10,000 people have read it, or at least requested it, and cared enough to request it. So after Help Volume 1, I basically had to see, am I a writer? or people just being mad nosy. Like, do people actually want to support me as a writer, or did people just want to know what was going on with Braxton? You know what I'm saying? And on December 26th, just a month later, after releasing Help Volume 1, you have the shortest trilogy ever made by B. And releasing Help Volume 1, it was done strictly through email, and the shortest trilogy ever made by B hit my website, BraxtonLangston-Chapman.com, and I did 5,000 copies in a week. It's not 10,000, but I did 5,000 copies in a week of a short story that still dealt with the political side of things, because that's where my heart originally lied. But it was me showing, okay, I can write. It's not a journal. It's a story. And from there, I mean, it just took off. I mean, I had directors calling me, people wanting to do visuals, actors, publicists, marketing managers. I mean, don't even know how they got my number. They're emailing me, all within 2 months. Help Volume 1, November 26th. The shortest trilogy ever made by B, December 26th. And that's the first thing I ever wrote that was written for the people. And like I always tell people, it's not me being arrogant, but the reason why I'm so eager now to further my career is the shortest trilogy ever made by B was written on a phone, like Microsoft Word app on a phone. The person I had edited, I gave them, they only wanted $5. And that was just a mentor, someone I knew that I just thought could write better than me, that edited it. And from there, I mean, little old 11-page short story on a phone gives me movie directors, gives me TED Talks, has me speaking at high schools, middle schools. So now, here I am full circle, I'm like, okay, what can I do? Like, what is this career? And here we are, Help Volume 2, May 23rd. And this is the first time that I put my all into the artistic craft of being an author and being a writer and doing postmodernism and doing all different types of literature, poems. This is the first time that I sat down on a computer, not a phone, sat down with a team of people, other people, to say, yes, this is good, yes, this is bad. I mean, as soon as we're done with this interview, it's probably what I'm going to go do. I've never done that with writing, and I at least know that 5,000 people are going to read it. So I'm going to make sure that it's the best thing they've ever read, and it's the best that I can do. So I'm eager to know how talented I am, because I always say this, I'm not being arrogant when I say I didn't put everything into it at first, and now people are demanding more of me and from me. So May 23rd, Help Volume 2, my second novella, my fourth project is being released. And it's crazy, you know, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, 6 months. This will basically be the 6-month anniversary of releasing Help Volume 1. And the fact that I'm going to give someone probably 200 to 300 pages of literature in 6 months is a lot, and it's crazy. But I think that it's what the people want, and I can't believe I can say this. This is what my fans want. They want it now. People text me every day wanting snippets of it. So it's crazy. It's amazing. And that's the story of Braxton as an author. Like you know me, I like to talk. So I know you, the interviewer, must got to say something. Must want to, you know.
I'm just really enthused by your ambitiousness and the process. You know, you say before you started college, you were going to you were really depressed. You were sad. You were going through so much, and then you come and you write a novella, and it makes a difference. Like, you look so happy. Like you said, I would have never knew that you were going through all of these things.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think anyone knew. I mean, somebody may have known I was going through something, but I don't think anyone knew the magnitude of it. My own parents didn't know. I lived in their house. And, bottom line, like I said earlier, it came from not having any confidence, which is really the only thing that Braxton was and is confidence. And it's the only reason why I can go out and take the microphone and act or do a comedy skit or do this interview is because I'm confident in myself. So me not having any of it, I mean, I can't run track. I can't even read a book. I can't do political stuff because I did that stuff because I was confident in myself to be the best at it. And if you know you're not the best or you can't do it, you're not going to want to do it. So I basically fell into a depression, and my close friends and like the acquaintances that kept up with me, I was MIA. I mean, I didn't pick up the phone, I didn't text anyone, and it really took basically Help Volume 1 and a girl, contradicting enough to pull me out of it. And like I said, it really wasn't a success.
I have a question. What would you say to the young boy or the young man who may be going through a situation similar to yours? What encouraging words would you give to them to push through?
It's so cliche, but it's what I've learned is that it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, you can do it. And the world is small. People say, oh, the world's big. No, the world is small. And once you know what you want to do and find yourself, for the Drake fans out there, know yourself, because that's what really happened. Once you know yourself, the world is yours. And now I say that with a grain of salt, because once again, bottom line, I'm a black man in a white world, and things are different. Our confidence isn't there because it's that much harder, and there is a double standard. So I take it with a grain of salt that you can do anything you want in the world. I'm telling you, it's going to be hard. And people may say it's hypocritical of someone as privileged as me to, say this, but it's going to be hard, and it's going to be harder for someone under me. It may be harder, but it may be easier. But you can do it. It may take 10 years. It may take 6 months. It may take eternity, but never give up. And those were all cliche things that I had to say, but it's the truth. I'm black, and it happened, and it can happen for someone else. And I've only just begun. You know what I'm saying? I'm still 18, and bottom line, it can be done. Hard work, dedication, it can happen. And like I said, it's cliche, and I apologize. But I just really feel that barring situation, barring adversity, when you really want something, if you work at it, you can get it. And the world is yours. It's small. Don't let anyone tell you the world's big and you can't do it, because you can. And it's different for each and every person, but the world's small.
Since you released your novella, you've had the directors call you, you've had, now you're saying fans and people read your work. Has your perspective on life changed?
Yes. And once again, it's very cliche. I talked a lot about confidence and going through my issues because of confidence. And bottom line, all this success has actually made me more humble. Bank account says you can buy a car and go on a vacation, but despite the attitude that I had before things happened, I've become more humble since I've released these things. Mostly because I've expressed myself, and it's like, I can sit down, I can relax. But my life has changed in a lot of ways, but mostly I have changed. And I feel like everyone needs someone, and it's not that I want to be that someone, but you never know, like, what that one phone call from someone could mean, like what they need. And I think it's just made me less selfish as a person, because I was going through something and no one knew. And I feel like each and every person may have their own issue and need help. Keyword help volume 1, help volume 2. So me as a person, I've just humbled up, and I couldn't even tell you why, other than the fact that I've found myself and I know what's right and what's wrong. So if anything, I've humbled up, I've more matured, and all this comes in a time where we're all trying to find ourselves at 18, and I've been blessed enough to have done it.
Would you describe your novella as a self-help book?
I describe Help Volume 1 not as a self-help book, but as a we understand, you're not alone book. So nothing in Help Volume 1 says, this is what you need to do if you feel like this. But instead it says, because it's from me, when you read this, you say, I felt like this before, I'm not alone. And I know I can talk about it because no one's judging him, and he had enough character, enough confidence to release it. So I feel like Help Volume 1 isn't a self-help book, but it's to tell people that they're not alone and that everyone has something, and it's okay to talk about it and express yourself and not feel as if someone's going to silence you or give you too much sympathy or not give you enough sympathy, but rather that you're not alone. So that's the gist of, and that's really why I released it, was I felt that the people around me was a great representation of society. I got black friends, I got white friends, I got friends that are girls, friends that are male, friends that are transgender, friends that are gay, all different types of people. And I didn't get a single person tell me, you shouldn't release this, or, oh, I don't feel this way, I don't relate. Everyone found something in it. And instead, I got more people need to see this. And that's where it all started. So I look at it as not as a self-help book, but as more people need to understand it.
Interesting. So now that you've talked about your depression and the things that you have been through, would you say that your upcoming project will be similar, or it will be different?
And that's what I'm worried about, because it carries the title Help, but it's different. It's much different from Help Volume 1. Help Volume 1 showed no literary or literature skills. It basically was an abstract journal that definitely had a deeper meaning, definitely had motifs, definitely had characterization. It was all there. But it was unorganized, it wasn't developed. So Help Volume 2, I'll explain it, because no one really knows. It's very abstract. Help Volume 2 is a series of journals and a series of excerpts and short stories and poems that are just intertwined in a plot. And it's different from Help Volume 1, but it's still Help Volume 1 in its entirety. So it's different.
Well, Braxton, I would like to thank you for joining us.
I'd like to thank you, Gloria, because you're Gloria Horton, bottom line, Gloria Horton. So thank you for having me.
I would like to thank you, and I would like to say it was a pleasure having you. I've learned so much, although you have said that, I'm being interviewed by someone that knows me. I feel like I've learned more. Mm-hmm. And thank you.
Thank you, Gloria.
Would you like to give your viewers a platform where they can follow you to keep up with your work and learn more about Braxton?
Twitter and Instagram, I'm trying to do better. It's Braxton on the Run. Simple as that. You'll find it, capital letters on capital letters. You'll find it, lowercase letters. Snapchat, Braxton Rio, and it's one word. And my website is BraxtonLangston-Chapman.com. That's BraxtonLangston CHAPMAN.com.